He was a stranger. He conquered much of the known world. Before the age of 35, Napoleon Bonaparte was not just a military genius, he was the most dangerous psychological force in modern history. Stay with us, because the real Napoleon is far darker than any history book will ever tell you. Napoleon was born in Corsica, an island France had just conquered. At military school in Paris, classmates mocked his accent, called him a foreigner, a peasant. He catalogued every insult, every laugh, and turned humiliation into fuel. Dark psychology calls this narcissistic injury, the wound that never heals and never stops driving. By 16, he had already decided France would kneel before him. Napoleon had memorized the names of thousands of his soldiers. At midnight, he would walk around the camp, stand by the fire, and call one of the soldiers by name. Every general before him had inspired fear. Napoleon, however, inspired loyalty, and loyalty is infinitely more deadly. Napoleon's greatest military weapon was not numerical superiority. It was speed. His armies moved twice as fast as any European force of that era. Enemies surrendered not because they were defeated, but because their minds had collapsed. Josephine didn't love Napoleon, not the way he loved her. He wrote her 300 letters from the battlefield, obsessive, desperate, vulnerable. I wake consumed by you. Your image never leaves me. She barely wrote back, and yet Napoleon needed this. The man who controlled Europe needed one person who didn't bow to him, one person who made him feel human. When he finally divorced her for not producing an heir, he wept openly. The emperor of the world, undone by a woman who never truly chose him. Napoleon understood something no ruler before him had grasped. Perception is reality. He controlled the newspapers. He commissioned pictures that always portrayed him as a hero, always golden, always victorious. His famous portrait spread throughout Europe. June 18, 1815, Napoleon's last battle. He was ill. His judgment had slowed. His generals had warned him, but he had ignored them. He had overcome impossibilities so many times that he had stopped believing that impossibilities applied to him. They exiled him to St. Helena, a small island in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, 3,000 miles from the nearest continent. Escape was impossible. Napoleon had 6 years left to live. Napoleon dictated his memoirs. He rewrote history. He repositioned every defeat as betrayal, every surrender as strategy. When he died in 1821, he had built a legend that would outlive any enemy who had exiled him. Napoleon didn't just rise to power. He designed it psychologically, militarily, and historically. If you want to discover the dark minds that shaped our world, subscribe. Because history is never what you're taught.